I was talking to a couple of crypto folks, and they were saying, well, the problem with dismissing altcoins is that, the idea that, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, that there are still some good ones out there. But you seem pretty convinced that the play here, if you're going to do it, is Bitcoin or Ethereum. But at least a couple of the folks who are far smarter than me about crypto say, yeah, but you can't dismiss the whole range of altcoins. So I just wanted to, I kind of wanted to, I saw your comments and I wanted to give you a chance to respond to that.
Yeah, they're wrong. Let me explain why.
Okay.
So, I'm not emotionally involved with one coin or another coin. I simply look at data. There's a reason it didn't recover after October 20th, and we should explore that. These things got slaughtered. They went down, like some of them 80, 90%, and they never came back. And yet you've had a reasonably good recovery from only two. One is Bitcoin and the other is Ethereum. So let me explain why. 2025 was a very important year for crypto assets generally because of the passage of the Genius Act, which finally put the rules out on stablecoins, which is effectively a digital payment system and a replacement for the traditional way of holding short duration treasuries. And it has a lot of importance to it because it's going to support digital payment at a much lower cost, transfer of assets between geographies at a much lower cost and much faster, more transparent, fully compliant. So that's all good. And so 70% of those transactions today are occurring on the Ethereum blockchain. Some people say it's too expensive, too slow. There's all kinds of alternatives that people want to talk about, but the truth is even more today than just a few months ago. The other act which just made a lot of news in the last couple of weeks is the Clarity Act, or the
Right.
It's important because you want to watch policy and the law being written if you're an investor to understand what the nuances are. So I'm an institution because I index for these guys, whether it's the Norwegian hedge funds or sovereign wealth or university pension, it doesn't matter. They are not allowed to own crypto. Not because they don't want to, it's just it's not compliant. So until it gets ruled by the Structure Act or the Clarity Act and allocates it into the security or commodities buckets, they can't buy it. But they were getting ready for passage of the bill in Q4, so they began to do their work. And here's what they discovered, like anybody else can if they wish. There's 10,000 poo-poo coins. They are effectively software. That's all they are. But if you're an indexer, you don't care. You simply go and you can use an AI to do this yourself now. Show me how many positions I have to have of diversification to capture 97% of the vol or the alpha of the entire crypto market. 2 will capture 97.2%. Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that's not all they asked. What if I have to put 500 million into a 3% position? Do I have enough liquidity? Which positions can give me that amount of liquidity so that I can go into 10.05 and rebalance it at 3.59 the same day? 2, basically Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else is poo-poo.